name's Renee, and my pronouns are she and her. I'm a therapist on the Family and Youth Initiatives team.
My name is Gina Zavitz. My pronouns are they, them. My title right now is Outreach Counselor with the Family and Youth Initiative.
So I work with youth ages 12 to 26 who have some kind of issue around their substance use or any kind of process addiction.
Providing harm reduction-based substance use education to teens between the age of 14 to 25, whether it's drug use, whether it's just like social media and screen time.
Eating disorders, gaming, porn, sex addictions.
We can apply harm reduction to all of that kind of stuff.
This program, I believe, is hugely important because it totally actualizes harm reduction in terms of not seeing a one-size-fits-all solution for everyone.
What's most meaningful for me about the work is reflecting on my own high school experience and the lack of education that I got around substance use from a harm reduction perspective.
Supporting youth in creating their own goals around their substance use. If they have goals around their substance use, some youth don't identify their substance use as an issue, but they have other issues in their lives that are stressors that they want to work on.
I give the example of the Just Say No kind of modeling and framework that I was given when I was like 14, 15, that was so ineffective. Really did not meet the needs that they, thought teenagers had.
I grew up, like many people did, and still do live in, a world that totally stigmatizes any kind of substance use. And not only that, but believes that the answer is to stop, is to abstain. And anything short of that cannot be a helpful program.
To flip the script and come into classrooms and tell youth that it is okay to be using substances, and there's a way to do it better, to have like a really meaningful, engaged relationship with our substance use, is amazing.
Understanding that people use substances for many, many, many different reasons. Often it's to cope with stress and trauma. And therefore, stigmatizing people not only is not helpful, but it actually creates more harm.
FYI provides free and anonymous counseling for people as young as 14, which is amazing because it's quite rare that you can find services that are that accessible and free for teens that are that young.
We will work with parents even when the youth do not want to engage in counseling. And we will also work with, which I love personally, we will work with siblings.
I give the example always when I do outreach that my substance education came from police when I was in grade 9. And obviously there's a lot of questions I did not want to ask of police. So many of these youth, they've never had an opportunity to talk about their own substance use or just ask questions.
So when I work with youth who are self-harming, it doesn't scare me. I know there's pain. I know it's a coping strategy. I wish when I was self-harming as a teenager, I wish someone could have known that there were reasons why and how it helped me feel better.
So many of the people that work frontline or in direct service in harm reduction have a personal connection to this work. It's the reason why we do it.
I mean, it's so much of the way I work has to do with my lived experience and the healing that I was able to do around the things that I was suffering with.
That has always been really valued at Breakaway. One of the things that we come back to in every program that I've seen is that we really value the wisdom of lived experience and of drug users. And we hire those people and we listen to them.
When I was a teenager, I had an awful eating disorder due to traumas I had been through. At that time, the programs were all so behavioral and just saw my use as a problem that had to be fixed. And most of it had to involve controlling how much I ate and thinking better thoughts about myself. And those things just made me feel worse because I couldn't control how much I ate and my life depended on what I'd just eaten, what I was eating, or what I was going to eat. In my early 20s, I found a therapist who saw me, who didn't see me as a problem that needed to be fixed, who saw me as someone who'd gone through some really awful things and just needed help to heal. That experience so changed me, just from having that space to be who I was and be seen as a full human being with traumas and stresses that I just need to process and heal from. So I felt I was given this amazing gift. And what else could I want to do with my life than pass this gift on to others? And that's what I get to do every day, and that's why I love my work so much.
There's so many kids out there who, like in the media that they're consuming, they have so much preliminary knowledge about drug use, like so much. They can name so many drugs, but they can't tell me what they do, why they would be prescribed, why people would take them, what some of the come down effects are going to be, how you're going to feel over the next few days. And I feel like as kids are growing up with more social media, we need to be increasing the amount of harm reduction education we have around all of those behaviors.
Having issues with substances, which so many do because we live in such a stressful culture, what supports do we have? How can, to me it's a form of early intervention in a way when it comes to substance use issues.
It has massive benefits for the people who use drugs within our community, and it has massive benefits for learning how to just generally be a better community member and human. Some people might say it's niche, but there's a massive amount of youth out there who need that kind of support, and yet the only funded full-time program for queer and trans and two-spirit youth for their substance use in Canada is at Breakaway.
And we can do that because we don't charge. And I would love our program to be more accessible to marginalized communities.
I think there's huge value in reaching people that have some money to give, who want to make an impact and just don't know where to do that. One of the beautiful things about Breakaway is that because we are small, we are also quite nimble and agile, and you know exactly that when you make a donation, there is a direct impact, pretty quickly, and it doesn't go through all of these channels and kind of get filtered or watered down.
People with progressive values and beliefs who have a vision for a better world, where we're all seen as human beings who are all just trying to find ways to cope, to get through very stressful lives, often with a lot of trauma. Promote this Breakaway as actualizing that value of humanizing everyone.